Welcome back. This is the part 2 of how to sew a palazzo joggers. In case you haven't seen the cutting aspect, we already cut the video. It will be in the description below, or you can just check the video gallery. Currently, I'm working on a mass production of this outfit actually, and I guess you might want to actually do this also. So I created a course that will explain what you're going to need in order to make 100 pieces of this. So the course will be in the link in the description below. Inside the course, I'll be sharing the contact of where you can get an original fabric like this original fabric, and where you can get the press button, where you can get the elastic band, and I'm going to share the contact of those people that sell the bulk of all of this thing for you in the course outline. The link will be in the description below. So without further ado, let's go back into the sewing aspect. So make sure you smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are yet to subscribe to the channel. So let's get straight into the sewing aspect. Welcome back. I do believe you guys have seen the video of the part 1, which is the cutting aspect. So after during the sewing process, now all you have to do is to take one front and one back, then you're going to face them on top one another. Make sure the right side is facing the right side of the fabric. You can see that. So all you have to do now is to sew the edge of the trouser itself. So after sewing, this is what we are going to be having. You can see that I use a lock stitch. If you use a straight stitch, and at the leg part, I'll be leaving an opening at the leg part. So I want you guys to pay attention here. At the leg part, I sew it and I leave a space of, at that leg area, I leave a space of 13 inches. That's for the opening at the leg area. I leave 13 inches. You can see that, and I simply sew that other side all the way to the waist area. You can see. So after that, the next thing we are going to be doing is to simply fold our pleat, which is from the front. Let me show you guys again so that you guys are going to understand. After sewing that side, I will simply open it up. So I want you guys to pay attention. That's why I'm trying to do it again so you will have a good understanding. So the front panel is the larger one because we had an extra 30 inches for the pleats, right? So if I open this, you're going to see this white area. It actually has to be, you see that white chalk, this our 30 inches in which we had, it has to be on top of the back panel. All you have to fold. Let me open it this way. Just take a look at this. So all I'll be doing now is to simply fold in 1.5 to the front, just like this. You can see what I did. You can see that I fold 1.5 to the front. So when you look at the chalk and the M in which we stitch are going to be facing one another, you can see. So I'll fold 1.5 to the front, just like this. That's why video is a lot okay, because you're going to see what I'm doing, even though I don't know how to explain it as much as I can. God, but I believe you guys are understanding this. So fold your 1.5 above the fabric, above the back panel. You can see that, and you're going to give it an ironing so that place is going to be smooth, so that you're going to see what we will be working with. You can see. So after we fold it, all we are going to be doing now is at the edge, that our 13 inches circumference, we are going to make a lock stitch at that place. You're going to make a lock stitch at that place, and we are going to stitch it all the way to the top area. So this is what we are going to be having. You can see here, I lock that 13 inches opening and I stitch it all the way to the top, right? Just a straight stitch. That doesn't actually, you can see the opening at the leg area. You can see what we are having. You can see. So what you're going to do now is to make a weave. You're going to weave that edge, and you're going to weave this edge also. Just use your lock stitch to make a weave at that place. So after the weaving, this is what we are going to be having. You can see that I already weaved that side. Already weaved this side also. So here, the next thing you're going to do is the upper part, which is the upper opening of the leg, right? I'm going to be using an hemming gum there. I don't want to be stitching it because it's going to be obvious. Though I just want to put the hemming gum, it's going to be temporary. You know, when we put our press button, it's going to simply hold that place down. But either way, hemming gum is going to hold it down perfectly. So I'm just going to place 2 hemming gum there, and I'll simply fix it at that point. So after putting the hemming gum, you can see how strong that place is and how thick that place is, right? So we are going to be putting our buttonholes, but for the first time, this is how it's going to look like. So this same thing we did here on this side, you're going to do it on the second trouser too. You're going to do exactly the same thing we did here on the other leg. This is one leg, and the other leg, you're going to do exactly the same thing. So after that, the next thing we are going to do now is to stitch our waist. So all you have to do is just to place your other side in which you've sewn. You can see this. You're going to place it exactly on the other one. Make sure the right side is facing the right side. You can see that. Make sure the right side is facing the right side. You see, you can see that the pleats are actually facing the back panel. You can see that. So make sure it's aligned. So we are going to stitch the sides, both sides, the crotch area. So after stitching, this is what you're going to be having. You can see that this is what we're going to be having. So the next thing we are going to do now is to stitch the crotch area. That's from the leg all the way to the crotch. Also, you're just going to stitch it straight. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you smash the like button. So after, we are going to simply put our pocket, but let's stitch the crotch area first, then we can. Okay, let's put our pocket first. Actually, that's important. So here I already stitched the pocket mouth, as you guys can see right here. So all you have to do is just to place it in the front of your trouser, just like this. You can see, so that there will be an hand at that place. Just align it very well. You can see what we're having, and I will simply stitch it. You can simply use your pin to hold it down, take it to the sewing machine and do the stitching. So let me show you what the stitch will look like. Let me go and do the sewing and show you what the result is going to look like. You can see that. Make sure it is straight. Make sure those lines are straight. It's very, very important. So this is what it's going to look like. You see that? That's after fixing our pocket. You can see how smooth the outfit itself is looking. You can see how nice it's coming out. So the next thing we're going to do now is going to be the waist. That's the waist elastic. So all you have to do is simple. This is our fabric. You can see right here, this is our fabric. This is the fabric we're going to be using. We already called this, which is 5 inches wideness. 5 inches wideness, as you guys can see. So all you have to do is to simply measure your waist, which will give us a total of 2 inches after sewing, right? So you have to measure your waist before you get what we are going to be cutting out on the elastic and the waistband itself. So here, when I measure my waist, I'll be having a total of, I'll be having 17 inches total on my waist. 17 inches. So all you have to do now is to cut 18 inches on your waistband. You'll be cutting 18 inches on my waistband. It's supposed to be 17 inches, which will give us a total of 34. That's our waist circumference. So here I'll be cutting 18 inches for my sewing allowance. I'm just going to fold it together. That's on my waistband, right? My waistband. And I'm going to simply measure 18 inches. That area, our waistband is 17 inches. So plus the sewing allowance, it has to be 18 inches. And I'll simply cut that out. So after cutting that side out, the next thing we are going to be cutting is going to be the elastic. You can see this is our waistband. So now remember, our waist itself is 17 inches, right? So on the elastic, all you have to cut is to maybe add an extra 4 inches to that 17 inches. You know, the 17 inches, the total circumference is going to be 34 inches. That's the total waist circumference, 34 inches. You're going to add like an extra 4 inches to that. Then you're going to simply cut out your waist. Extra 4 inches. That will make it a total of 17 plus 4, which will be 21 inches. So after that, you can simply connect it to put it on your waistband. You can see this will definitely stretch up to 34 inches for the waistband. You can see what we have. You can see that. So the next thing you're going to do now is to simply stitch your waistband. You're going to join the waistband together. That's the edge. You're going to join it. Then we're going to also join our elastic. So after joining the waistband, all you have to do now, if you have a pin to open the front, but if you don't, you're going to simply make a buttonhole at the edge. So to make the buttonhole, get the center point in which you want the buttonhole to be. I believe in 1 inch space here where the buttonhole will be from one side, and the other side also we have 1 inch space. You can see. So I'll simply make my buttonholes at that space. That's 1 inch. So the height of the buttonhole is going to be 1/2 inch. I'm going to mark it on both of the 1 inch space. You can see that. And here also 1/2 inch. You can see that. And I'll simply make my buttonhole on that one. And this is our rope. So let me put that down and just make the buttonholes. Then we can continue with the. So after making the buttonholes, you guys can see that the next thing we are going to do now is I want you guys to pay attention. I already sewed the elastic also. I already sewed the elastic. I joined the elastic together. You're going to put your elastic inside of the waistband. You're going to put the elastic inside of the waistband. You can see that. And you're going to take your trouser. I want you guys to pay attention at this place. I believe you guys can see it clearly. You're going to take a trouser just like this. You can see. Make sure the buttonholes are actually at the center part of the. I'm going to make a notch at the center part. That's between the buttonholes, right? So that notch that I just make right now is going to be exactly at the joining at the middle of the trouser itself. You can see that. So make sure the buttonhole is at the front. So I'm going to stitch it all around. So after stitching it all around, this is what we are going to be having. Let me turn this back to the front. This is what we will be having. You can see this. This is what our trouser will be looking like. You can see we are almost getting there actually. We are almost there, You can see at the front. This is our buttonholes. You can see that. We are almost getting there. So now the next thing you're going to do now is to draw your trouser, open it like this. You can see. We are going to make 2 stitches on the front. So make sure you open your elastic very well. Let me turn this very well so that you guys can see it. At this place right here, we are going to make a stitch from the underneath the buttonholes all the way around, and you're going to above the buttonholes all the way around. That's to create a space for the rope to pass in the middle. So you're going to make a stitch underneath the buttonhole, and you're going to make a stitch above the buttonholes. I hope you guys understand that. So now this is what that's going to be looking like. You see, a stitch underneath the buttonholes, and at the hem inside, all you have to do is just to make a weave all around. You can see what we have. So the next thing we are going to do now is to simply pass our rope inside of the buttonholes. You can see that. You can see it will easily go all the way straight to the other side. You simply punch it out. So this is what we are going to be having. I believe you guys are enjoying this video so far. If you like it, make sure you smash that like button. It's very, very important. And make sure you subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. So the next thing now is to do the hook on the leg. This is the main. The main. Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention here. These are the tools that I will be using, and if you already paid for the class, thank you. That's for the course. So I believe you already gotten your materials from the dealer, like from the customer that I referred you to, so you can simply get to work. So these are the dies that I asked you guys to buy. These are the dies for the buttonholes. For the press button, I mean, not button holes. These are the 4 dies. You'll be needing 4 separate dies, and these are the press buttons. These 4 buttons come with 4 different pairs, and each of them, like one side has 2 pairs. So I want you guys to pay attention here. This is the longer part. You can see this one is the one that holds the opening area. That's the black one that will be the outer part, right? This one and this one are together. So you see this one right here in my hand. That's the hook part, and this is the third one, which is the hook part. I believe you guys can see that. So these 2 are the ones that usually clip together. You can see. And this one also are the one that you can join together. So let's do this, and let me show you guys how to simply fix this. So all you have to do is simple. You're going to mark 4 space at that place. So I'm going to simply, the down part is going to be 2.1 inches. It doesn't have to be 2.5 inches. So I'm going to make a cross at that place. That's my first point. Between that place and the upper one, you can see the same thing we are doing at the top is going to be at the down part, but we are going to do the top first. Here to here, I'm going to measure 3 inches. That's 3 inches space between each of the press button. You can see from that place also, I'll be measuring 3 inches upward. You can see here 3 inches, make a cross right there. And also from that place, I'll measure 3 inches upward. Another place, I'll make a cross also. You can see that. So that is where our button is. So at that center part, all you have to do now, that's where our button is going to be. So all you have to do now is to make a hole at that particular cross area. You have to make a hole. So to make a hole, I'll be using my scissors. I'm just going to simply fold this together. You can see I'll fold it like this. And I'll simply make a punch at that edge. You can see, make sure that place is punched out. You can see what we have. That place is not punched out enough. Make sure that place is punched out. So you can see what we have. And that black cover can simply go inside. That's the major reason. You can see that it simply goes inside. You're going to do the same thing on all of the other ones too. Fold it and simply punch it out. You can see that. Just make sure the pin actually goes through. You see that? Here also simply fold it this way and punch it out. You can see that. Make sure that the hole actually punched out, and make sure you are getting the center point of the cross in which we chalked, right? That's very, very important. And did it on this last one also. You can see that. So the next thing is to carry out the puncher. This is the presser. So this thing right here, I'll be putting the flat surface inside. You can see here, and this black head button will be facing the black surface. You can see that. And here the clip, this one has 2 different types. The other one doesn't have an edge at that end. You can see right here. So the clip one, the part that used to clip to the button, just put it above, put it inside of that one. You can see that. After putting it inside, I'll simply put my cover button inside of here. Make sure the right side is actually facing the black area. You can see just like this. Make sure it's inside, then you can simply put it on the flat surface which you put on the stuff before. Then you can place your dies above it. Then all you have to do is to simply clip it. You can see, just make sure it's clipped, and when you open it, this is actually done. You can see that. You can see what we are having. You can see what we are having. So you're going to do the same thing on all of the 4 and the other side also. So you can see I just did the 4. So you can see how smooth that came out. So the next thing we are going to do is going to be the clip, which will be the under part, the one underneath. So all you have to do is simple, just place it, make sure the trouser is straight and the leg part is straight. And all you have to do is just to simply, let me open it. You see, I see, just press it down. Press this one too down, press it down, press it down. You can see that. And when I open it, you can see that it has a mark. Exactly those mark. All you have to do is just use your chalk to make a cross at that area also. You can see that. Simply make a cross at those area. And this last one also, you can see. Then we are going to simply punch the edge. We simply punch out the edge. You can see that. And here also you're going to do the same thing on those ones. So after punching out all of the sides, all you have to do, we are going to remove the flat surface now. We don't need that one again. Then we are going to bring the third one, which is the pinned surface. This is the other one with the pin. So all you have to do is just to put this longer dies inside. That's the longer buttonhole area. Put it inside. You're going to take the clip part, which is the one that used to clip to the gum. This is the one that used to clip here. You can see that. You can see this is the one that used to clip at this place. That's the one you'll be adding to this one now. So this is your clip area. So just make sure the clip is inside of this. You can see that. And simply put in your buttonholes. Make sure it enter inside of the pinned one in which you put previously. And I'll simply use this one to cover it. You can see that. And I'll just press it down. So after pressing it down, all you have to do is just to remove this. It's a little bit tricky to remove this somehow. So I'll just use the scissors to just, because that place used to like string out a little bit. Or maybe my dice is just doing something else. You can see. So how nice that came out. It actually came out very, very well. You can see this. You can see this. You can see this. So that is how to actually do that. So all you have to do now is to do exactly the same thing on all the other remaining 3. Make sure the trouser is straight and simply apply the same process to the remaining 3. You can see that. Then we can simply stitch our hem. So this is the 3. This is the 4 ring. I already put all of these ones. You can see here. And when I simply close it, let me clip them together so you can see that they are actually straight. You can see that. I'm not getting the head. Okay, you can see. I get the head, and here also, which is the last one. You can see what I'm having, how straight that edge is. You can see how straight that actually came out. Finally. How smooth is that? If you're liking this video, just smash that like button. It's very important. Are you not enjoying the video? So what we're going to do now is to simply, you're going to do the same thing on the other leg also. You're going to do exactly the same thing on the other leg. So we are done with both legs. And we are done with the waistband. We are done with the everything. All you have to do is to simply close this place. So first I'm going to weave that edge. I'll weave the edge and I will simply stitch 1 inch or half of an inch at that edge all the way straight down. So let me stitch that. I'm done with the stitching, and this is what we're going to be having. You can see this. All you have to do is just to give it a good ironing. Make sure it is smooth. Then your outfit is ready to complete. I'll be doing a monogram design on this one, so it will be ready for the market. And this is the final result. This is what we are going to be having. If you like the video so far and you want to try this on your own, you want to like create your own mass production, I create a course on how to actually achieve this. Inside the course, I will give you the contact detail of the person that sell the bulk material of this suede, of this velvet material. I say suede, velvet or suede. I'll give you the contact of the person. I'll give you the contact of the person that sell this press button. I'll give you the contact of the person that sell this rope, all of the things that you're going to need, and the elastic, the joggers elastic, all of the things you're going to need in order to actually achieve this. I'll give you the information. The link will be in the description below, so just click on the description below and get the course. If you like the video so far, smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are yet to subscribe to the channel. We just did something really smart in this tutorial. I'm so happy. So make sure you buy the course and try it out and send me DM of your own results, and I will see you on another amazing video that is still coming. I have a lot of banging video for you guys, so smash the like button if you are yet to. I've been saying you should smash the like button since, but you have not. Smash the like button and subscribe if you are yet to subscribe.